Right, so today's project is the Abbey Topper. So Mike's here just getting it out in the middle of the yard so we can get the old grinder on it and see what's going on. So this is probably the third video to see this topper in, because we bought it at an auction last week, picked it up, brought it back, and then we featured it in our update video the other day. Anyway, our workshop is absolutely full of machines at the moment. We cannot squeeze another one in there. So Mike had a suggestion saying, well, I can start on the topper because it's outside, it's dry, so you can cut the top off of it. Anyway, I paid 80 quid for this topper plus the buyer's commission, which would have been £8 at 10%, plus the VAT. So absolute bargain. The reason I bought it so cheap is because Abbey toppers look really, really rough. They rust for a pastime. But there's some good things about this Abbey topper, and well, I'll show you. So as I said, Abbey toppers rust and rust and rust, and they're probably more popular with their swing around ones, with a sort of an 8-foot swing around topper on the side, which are very nice when they work and not too rusty. As you can see here, it has corroded an awful lot, so much so that you can, oh, hello, all the way around. But the good news is that these plates here can be cut off, so you can cut these welds off here and all the way up through that side as well, and actually take that whole panel out. And the worst parts of the rust on this one are those two panels. There's a panel at the front there and panel at the back. Sorry, panel at the front there, panel at the back here. The rest of it is in very good nick. Yes, there are some, should we say, other bits here where that isn't actually rust. That's where something has hit it from underneath and come up and damaged the topper. So we'll have to turn it over in a bit and get all that sorted. Here there is a bit of a bump, but again, absolutely structurally solid, so we haven't got to worry about that. The gearbox, the PTO blade, everything all turns underneath. The blade doesn't look in too bad a condition. The PTO shaft is all serviceable and usable. All the yokes and everything look okay, but what we'll do is Mike will strip the PTO apart and check it all, have a look at the gearbox, make sure the bearings are okay in there, because a topper is generally quite hard on bearings, so definitely is worth that check in there. Anyway, it looks like he's got his grinder of choice, which is a Hitachi, I know. He's using a tool that isn't red and black. What's that all about? So then what we're going to do is I've bought in some plate steel, so then we're going to replace this with 1.5mm plate steel all over, so 2 new sections, and then we've got some angle iron strips that will run down through here to be able to create the strength within it. So we were going to originally buy new panels because they looked like they were available, but can't seem to get hold of the company who make them, and then just weld them straight on. And then we thought, actually, buy the plate steel, we've got a metal folder, we'll fold the steel ourselves. But then Mike's latest idea was to just put a plate of steel in and then have angle iron stripped up through to make the strength, put the strength back in there. So I thought that's probably going to be the easiest way. Yeah, we've got new decals and everything, so all of the decals, they've turned up. Give it a bit of a paint job and we should have a pretty good topper on our hands, which is worth a lot more money than what I paid for it. So Mike's now going to cut those 2 plates off the top, and then we'll be getting to turn it over, have a look in underneath and see what else is going on. So when I bought this topper the other day, I was at the auction and going up through the lines looking at stuff, and I thought, nah, I don't want to touch that, looks far too gone. But then the more I looked at it, the better it got, which just makes a change, because it's normally the other way around. So I think for what we paid for it, there's, yeah, enough profit in it to be able to pay Mike's wages, as well as a few others, hopefully. Found anything interesting under there already, Mike?
Not yet, no.
No? Oh, that's good news. How's he going to take the skids off first, is he?
Well, I'm going to cut up through the side, so.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Take that out of the way. Right, we'll leave you to it, Mike, and come back and have a look in a minute.
Yeah, fair enough.
Looks like Mike's gaining. Oh yes, he's got some plate on the top. Look at that, Mike. You got a good bit of plate there now.
Yeah, I got a bit of plate, but no chips.
No chips?
No chips.
Welded it in. That's looking proper, isn't it? So we've got the plate there. We were going to cut them in half and fold them in our metal folder, but when Mike said, well, we might as well just put angle iron in there instead, because we've got plenty of angle iron to match what these were before. So got the plate there, and then these were folded. So instead, Mike is going to weld in the angle iron up through to give it the extra support and strength. And then we're going to clean up all the other metal work, and then we'll be, well, a bit of primer, Mike, I suppose.
Yeah, a bit of whatever you got, really.
And then find some orange paint to paint it, and then we've got some stickers to sticker it all back up, so it looks good as Well, nearly as good as new. So you put your bolts in your mic as well?
Yeah, then captivated so you don't have to struggle with a spanner in behind.
Ideal, all welded in.
And I'll cut one a little bit shorter than the other, so when you come to put your side skid on, you don't have to try and line 4 holes up in one go. You only get to line 2.
Hey, man thinks about
A
it.
little bit easier.
If only these designers would think of this stuff, eh, Mike?
Yeah, but they don't use it, no.
True. The mic is being an absolute diamond and getting right on with it. Look at it. Proper. All welded in, sheeted in, all reinforced. He's now got a welding underneath, and then it'll be handed over to Richard to clean it and paint it. We've even got a brand new set of stickers to go on it. It's going to look mint. Look up. Ricky's been painting. So Mike has finished it all off, got everything all done and ready. We handed it over to Rick, and he's painted it. It's grey, Rick.
It is.
Everything's grey. It's all got an undercoat on it. Look at this. Bob on. Mate. What a job. Yeah, man.
All good, isn't it?
Right, let's, well, I need you, what colour are you painting the top?
Orange.
Your favourite?
Favourite. Black.
Black.
I'm hoping we'll agree to a black on that as well.
All right. And then black skids?
Black skids, I think.
Wow, something must be wrong if you've got black skids, mate.
We're just going to check in on Richard. Doing a grand job there, Richie, in the sun. Orange in the sun.
Not quite in the sun, but nearly.
That's all right, isn't it?
Getting there.
First coat, I think it's going to need 2 coats, eh?
Yeah, it's going to need a couple of coats.
Yeah. Rollering it on as well.
Yeah, I did try the brush and it wasn't doing it too good. So, yeah, rolling it on, thin coat, and then give it another coat.
Yeah. I hope you're being conservative with that paint as well, because you've already been warned about that.
I'm trying my
You've
best.
got 2 pots to cover it, Richard.
I should be right with the one. Fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes.
I've got some good news. Let's go and check it out. Look at that, it is all done. How posh. That is just looking absolutely bob on. All been welded up, all been sorted out. Even new decals. I've got new PDO shafts, or PDO shaft guard, Mike, haven't we?
New guard, yeah, shafts existing, got shaft.
Yeah. So what was the most traumatic part about it all, Mike? Working with Richard, or?
Well, I've done the work.
No, it does look good, doesn't it? It's nice to do stuff like that, isn't it? Bring it back to life again. I know there's a lot of work to it and there's probably not a great deal of money in it, but the pleasure of seeing that looking as good as that is bloody brilliant. Yeah, I saw some dinks and bits and pieces in it, you'll see. Obviously where it's had a bit of a knock there at some point, but it doesn't harm the use of it or the operation. So that's the original shaft end cover there, or your yoke cover.
Bucket guard,
Bucket guard, is that the right term, Mike, is it?
that's what I call it.
Yeah, and then it's just left the primer and underneath. Get under there, so it's all grey and underneath there.
You call it someone else when you try to do the shear bolts. Sounds like bucket.
And that's why the old hole was cut in the top of it originally, I should think, wasn't it?
I would imagine it might have been.
Or for greasing, maybe.
A bit crude, wasn't it?
So there we are. The Abbey Topper is brought back to life. So yeah, what a wicked topper. Now, as I said before, I only paid 80 quid for this topper, so there was enough money in it to do this. I've bought another second-hand topper recently, which is a Teagle 510, which is coming in. Now I paid sort of late 300s for that one, so there won't be enough money in that to be able to do this to it. But there'll probably be a couple of hundred quid profit without having to do too much. Fingers crossed, I haven't picked up yet. But with this one, there was, and it's probably worth sort of 900, 950 now. So all good. Let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye. Cheerio.